Hi, y'all. It's me, Love, and
Kenson Tate.
okay, how are you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good, a little nervous, but it's all right.
A little nervous?
Yeah,
All right, you ready to get into the
I'm ready
questions?
to get into it.
All right. So, what is your classification and major?
I'm a junior right now. I'm a mechanical engineer major.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what do you plan to do with being a mechanical engineer?
Right now, I would say I'm not 100% sure, but I want to in some way be dealing with cars, that
Okay.
deals with, mechanics of an engine, how things work in certain ways. But as of right now, just not knowing and waiting for internships,
Uh huh.
Exxon, just other opportunities always out there. So just waiting to see what, life brings.
Okay. So, who is KT outside of an athlete? That's a big question for athletes now. Who is the person outside of wearing athletic gear and being on a team?
Real,
Who are
real.
you outside of that?
I would say I'm a gamer. I love the game.
Okay.
I I'm a student athlete. I will say that first. Also,
Uh huh.
I'm in my books, and I try to take that serious as I can. Just balancing that with my sport and doing that. But having my game, my friends, I have a close circle, but I have a lot of my teammates. I love hanging out with them, but just having some way of some sort of being able to let out like and release just woosah sometimes, you know what I'm saying.
Okay. So, have you ever played any other sports? And if so, what made you choose to stick with track,
Ah,
specifically long jump?
okay. Long jump. I would say in high school and all the way. Nah, I'm gonna go back. When I was 8, I started playing football, flag football. That
Mm-hmm.
was the very first sport I played. And after a year of that, um, when I turned 9, my brother's birthday, me and my brother's birthday are 2 weeks apart. So we had a birthday party.
Okay.
And his friends and our older cousins came and my friends. Also, we had my mom and dad had a joint, birthday party. So and we had like a little race, with his friends versus, me and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, running with his friends and up there with the big kids. And after that, my mom and dad were like, I think you need to run track. So that was like my bread and my brother's my but I played football and ran track my whole life. But when I got into
Mm.
college, I had to,
You had
make
to choose.
I didn't say I had to choose. I would say COVID chose for me. I had a lot of, I guess, walk on opportunities for football and
Mm-hmm.
just like you can come play, but there's no money involved. So and I was just like my mom and
Mm.
dad were supporting me and they were like, whatever you want to do, you do it. But track season came. I my senior year, I was fifth ranked long jumper in the U.S. coming out
Oh.
of high school in class of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So that was big. After that, I talked to our head coach at Lamar a little bit. I was getting a few offers from Louisiana schools in Louisiana, but nothing like too major. But
Are you
after
from
that,
Louisiana?
yes, that's where
Oh,
I'm from.
okay.
Yeah. I will say that. Yeah, Baton
Okay.
Rouge 225.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after that, it was just like, hey, you can go run, and this is paying for your school. And my mom and dad was like, it was a big moment in my life, just to be able to go to school and not have to worry about my mom and dad, paying for that, and that
Mm-hmm.
being that for them that was a big thing. So that was yeah.
Have you ever had thoughts of like wanting to do both since you played football and ran track? Did you ever, since you've been in college so far, because you've been here for 3 years, have you ever thought about wanting to do football and track like you were used to in high
Nah,
school?
bro. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes, but God, has done some things in my life, and I'm thankful where He's brought me through. And just, I can't, I can't sit here and be like, oh, I want to play football, but
Mm-hmm.
have the accomplishments that I have and the goals that I also have. So, and I mean, football is a sport that injuries do tend to be on the upside than
Mm-hmm.
track. So, I mean, be me running track may be the better thing in the long run. So, I'm gonna say right now, like I feel like
You're content with
yeah,
track.
I'm good. I'm good
Oh.
with track. Yeah.
So, would you consider track a team or individual sport? Because I consider track in individual sport.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
never really been like a team player. I used to do track when I was a freshman in high school,
No,
and
really.
after that, I was done. I
That's
did it
good.
my
That's
whole
good.
life until I was a freshman. I was done. When I
No.
moved to Texas, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
It'd
I
be
was just
like
like,
that. It'd be like
mm.
that. You gotta be dedicated to track. Yes.
But I always thought I liked it because it was an individual sport. I didn't have to be a team player. So would you consider it an individual sport or a team sport?
That's a tricky question, and track has both the individual and the team aspect in it, and you have to, I guess, be able to see both sides of that.
Mm-hmm.
The picture. You know what I'm saying? Because on my chest it says Lamar University,
Mm-hmm.
and I have teammates
Right.
that we all score a certain amount of points to be scored against another team. So I mean, yes, but also in my heat, I can have my teammate running against me.
Mm-hmm.
So in that at that point, I'm an individual. We teammates, but is and it came down to at our conference meet, me and my one of my closest friends, Cameron Chin, in the 200,
Oh, y'all had to run
yeah,
against each
running
other.
against each other. We crossed the line, prelims, same time, neck and neck, like standing with each other, laughed, during the race, like it was Usain Bolt. Y'all got to look that up. Usain Bolt and Andre DeGrasse. It was like beautiful, but it was like a fun moment. But you see that, and that's when you see like you gotta you are individual, but you're on a team together.
Would you say it ever gets competitive between one another? Because at the end of the day, you're striving to beat that clock at anything else. That's always what my dad told me when I was running track is you're not really it's you against the
Real,
clock.
real.
So you against the clock and the person who's gonna be in front of you, are you gonna surpass them or not?
You're right.
So do
You're
you
right.
think there's ever a lot of competition?
Nah, real. And yes, there is competition because iron sharpens iron. If there's no competition, nobody's getting no better. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what drives people to be better. Competition.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to compete. You got to be able to push somebody, the next person on side of you to do better. And that's what yes, it's a whole lot of
So
competition.
how do you keep the competition positive? Because it's very easy, especially in college, I feel
Definitely.
like, to make it negative. So how do
Definitely.
you keep it positive?
Definitely. It's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-way street. I'm also say praying about it, but also being able to go out on a weekend, we roll go-karts. We go out and do things as a team
Mm-hmm.
to keep that brotherhood, that friendship, that camaraderie, a part of each other because we need each other at the end of the day. But
Right.
I mean, because I can do anything I want on the track, but I need somebody out there. I love my brothers out there pushing me to be better every day, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing them every day to do better themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we need it, but it's ways to go around and get around. It's not always. It doesn't always have to be a competition. I mean,
Right.
now when you get in those lines, yes, we understand that it's do or die, yeah. But
Right.
I mean, outside of that, bro, like nah. And that's with other teams. I have friends, I'm sorry to say, on other teams. Hey, when we step in the lines, you know what it is. It's business. I'm standing on that, and they know that.
Business
But
only.
yeah, and after that, after the race, it's daps, and it's like, hey, bro, good job. And it's competition though. It's always that, but it's love at the end of the day. It's
Okay.
love.
So what is your why? Why do you do what you do in all aspects?
Uh, I would say my family for sure. My
Mm-hmm.
mom, my dad, and my brother. We since '03. I'm the youngest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the baby. It's been us four, and we have a very close relationship. It's not the best, but as a family, we're tight, and that keeps me going. My brother was a college athlete, but allowing he was a walk on.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the short end of the stick, not allowing, my mom and dad having to pay for that school, but he telling me out of high school, hey, you can do this, be better than me. Them wanting me to be better than what they did. My mom is a registered nurse,
Mm-hmm.
she's been to school. She knows what college is like. She know how hard school can be. Pushing me on that side. My dad, since I was a boy, just in the backyard, just pushing me to be the best me I can be. But I can't. almost to a point to I don't want to fail for them, you know.
Mhm.
But even if I do, they gonna love me the same. And it's not failure; it's just a lesson, just learning.
Okay. So, what is it gonna look like for you after college?
Mm. As of right now, I'm not gonna say I don't know yet.
Mhm.
Um, we have I have my senior year. I got hurt my sophomore year,
Mhm.
so I get a redshirt year to come back. So I have a year or two to think about things, but internships definitely will be coming up. But track will be on my mind and on the plate for sure. I think we put ourselves in a good place, you know, for the long road
Mhm.
ahead, and I'm proud of myself, and I thank my coaches, I thank my teammates, you know, just being allowing just to be in this situation to possibly go pro in the
Mhm.
sport that isn't as big as football or basketball, you know,
Right.
but you know, bringing eyes to the sport, and that's what it is. That's at some point people gonna look. Some people gonna see, hey, that's cool. That's how you do that,
Mhm.
and it's gonna bring eyes, and I just want to be able to help that out and be.
Because a lot of people, when they finish as a college athlete, when they're done, they're done. They don't really look
Mm,
back at the sport anymore. It's like, okay, but I feel like you've put in all this time, your whole life. Why would you leave
exactly.
something that you've been doing for so long? How could you just leave it behind? That's my whole thing. But that's why I asked that question because oftentimes I'm confused. I'm like, okay, well, you already have spent your
Mm,
whole life, all this time, all this hard work. Why would you just walk away
for
from
real.
it? Especially coming out of college because,
Why not?
yeah. Okay. So, what are your thoughts on athletes' mental health now? That's become a big topic within the past couple of years is athletes and their mental health and how it's been affected, especially by coaching, by the
Nah,
coaching staff.
nah, real.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a big thing. I would say I went through a slump. I'm a testimony,
Mm-hmm.
but I also know a lot of people that went through, you know, some depression, some stressful times in the sport, not only track but football, basketball, baseball. Is hard, but the juggle of being a student and being an athlete is it's a job on its own, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And people think, you know, you have it easy, you know, you have it a little bit better, but maybe sometimes you don't.
Okay.
So I mean, it, the it's a deep topic. It's a very deep topic. I mean, I went through it with injury,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you say coaches,
Because a lot of times, whenever I see the stories or I read the articles on, athletes who have committed suicide or who
real,
have like stopped doing the sport that they
not
love
real.
because of the coaches,
Yeah.
would you say it's true with the wrong coach? It can lead you to hate the sport that you once found love for.
Um, Coaches, I feel that push or can alter the mind of a young person, because at the end of the day, you're older than us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. That's something that needs to be addressed
Mm-hmm.
at this day and age, you know. They say we're not built how they were back in the day. Nah, it's not like that.
Right.
It's, you know, people have feelings, and you have to, you know, treat people the way that they want to be treated, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's with respect. And that goes on both sides, like, you know, but it's sad. It is very sad.
Okay, so you said you did or you have struggled with your mental health as an athlete. How did you push through that? How did you, because some people don't make it out that
Nah, for
dark
real.
hole. So, how did you pull yourself out of that?
I would say I want to thank my family, yeah, but thank the Lord. You know, I got in my word, and that was a big thing. That was I would say I wasn't the only thing, but I had a circle around me to, you know, that would check on me, and they allowed me to go through stages of grief, stages of anger,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to allow yourself to go through that and not pull yourself too fast out of it.
Right.
Because I mean, you come too fast out of it, you slip to fall back. You quick to slip, you know, get in that same position that you were in. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, taking that time and going through the process and feeling your feelings, I feel like is a big thing, and not being ashamed of how you feel.
Mm.
So nah, like that was a big thing, a part of last year. That was it was hard, and it was started around this time, but I thank the Lord and my mom just not even really. She's excited, she's happy about what I'm doing, but she's concerned. Are you okay? This is not a year mark, but it's a year mark on some things. You were in a bad place.
Mhm.
That wasn't the Kenton that we knew. That wasn't the K Tate that everybody knew. That.
Right.
So I want to say also thank my friends and my teammates and my coaches. They did help, but I would say the people that saw me the most. My coaches don't see me all the time, but
Mhm.
my teammates, my friends, my girlfriend, they see me like 1-on-one all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I mean,
Do you think that allowed you to realize who was really there for you and what support you really had at that time?
yes, definitely. I tell myself all the time, ain't nobody coming to save you.
Mhm.
Only you're the only one that's gonna get you out of this. But
Right.
that's true in some places, but I just myself it's not always true like that. Some people want you to succeed. Some don't always, but there's a handful of people that want to see you that want to see you be okay and
Mhm.
do great things. So um it was a big thing.
So, with navigating through your injury, how did you go from being hurt to now breaking records and setting new records for yourself? How did you go through that? Because I know when you're injured, like you're basically starting from scratch. You have to relearn.
Yeah.
Your body has to relearn and readjust. So how did you get back to that point? Because before you also were a really, really good athlete. So how did you get back to that point? Because some people don't get back to that point of breaking records and getting first place. How did you get back there?
I want to thank you for saying I'm a really good athlete. That was I came off of indoors. I had a bit. I won conference that year. I
Mhm.
jumped a pretty good jump. But I didn't qualify for nationals that year, and that was okay. But we were getting ready for outdoor
Mhm.
and ankle injury. I'm just like, maybe it's just a little something. We can walk it off. We can go to the training room, get this worked out,
Mhm.
and trainers did a great job. I feel like they used all their resources that they could in
Mhm.
that moment. But what was done, what was done, it was already done, and they
Mhm.
could do no more. But doing the work that I couldn't do on my left leg on my right leg. And that's the leg that I ultimately jump off of. So I mean, that leg, my right leg is probably stronger, just yes, but we prayed on coming back stronger, healthier, faster. And just the time not needing surgery, but just being away and resting, just not being on the track, not being in the sand, not jumping, just, relaxing, playing the game.
Mhm.
And doing what makes you happy and what you enjoy doing away from your sport. But it was hard, but when it was time and I was able to get back moving, we hit the ground rolling. And I mean rolling. In the weight room, we had regiments already ready for when I came back, and my coach was like, "Hey, if you good, you'll be good. If not, we'll take a step back."
Mhm.
And we came back in the summer. We got an MRI, got an X-ray. Everything looked to be clean, so we were like, "Hey, let's go." So we had an off season. It was pretty good. My teammates just being there and glad to see me back, and me glad to see them.
Mhm.
And new faces. And being proud to be a Cardinal, but that was a process, and this indoor just being as what it was.
So you say new faces, that's like freshman faces. So how do you set an example for those freshmen? Because you were once a freshman, you
Yes,
once didn't know how this was going to go. You probably were nervous to be on a college
definitely.
track team, didn't know what was going on, and now you're here. So how do you advocate for those freshmen?
Ah, my freshman year outdoor, I went to nationals. I placed 11th. It was a true freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
as they would say. and that's not typical. That's you don't see that every day in the mid conference. Coming out of mid major. But allowing when someone's young like that, allowing them to grow and be in this new environment and figure things out. And me being a junior now, I'm only able to now, now I'm able to, step into it and be like,
Mm.
hey, I know where this is. I know what I'm doing here and there, but um it's it's cool now just to be able to be a testimony on, hey, it's okay when it's not going great here and there. You're not gonna have a great meet all the time. I promise you not. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not high school. It's not high school anymore. And but the same way that you did great in high school, you can do great here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in school, that's in track, that's in any athletics, that's in whatever you're pursuing.
Right.
So I mean, allowing somebody to grow, you're still young, and when you get in college, mom and dad's not here anymore. They're not down your
Mm-hmm.
throat no more. So the people that are closest to you and people that can touch you are really the most influential in your life at this moment. So I mean,
Right.
it's a blessing to be able to be a leader to freshmen. But no, like, you have to let them be
Mm-hmm.
freshmen.
Right.
You have to let that person grow.
The
And I feel
mistakes
like,
are important.
yes, that's what makes
Okay.
things there.
Okay. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, I kind of forgot a little bit. Okay, so for the people, a lot of people that are in college, they played sports when they were in high school, but they didn't get the opportunity to
Okay.
come college and play sports. And there's some people that walk on, and there's some people that I feel for walking on because they didn't even get the chance to. What do you say to those people?
Uh
Because I feel like you always can improve yourself.
Not real.
You can. I feel like at that point, I mean, I'm not gonna go walk on the track team. I'm not. But I'm just saying, other people are thinking that they might want to. I mean, I feel like that should light even more of a fire under you to work even harder.
Um, nah. If you feel that in your heart and it's not just a thought,
Mm-hmm.
but you deeply feel that, hey, I can possibly go out and walk on, because it's a big step. I
Mm-hmm.
will say that my brother walked on, like I said, he walked on his freshman year. So straight out of college, he went up and he was like, I mean, straight out of high school, he wanted to play football, didn't get the offers, but he wanted to go play football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy. You aren't known as much as the other guys, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. If you believe in yourself, and that's all it takes. I feel. But a walk on is only another story. That's only another story, and that's, you got to use that and use that fire on your mission. If you want it, you gotta let that be that. And at that stage, you is mess ups are very slim.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know that. The window, you mess up, coach has the chance of saying, what he, like, I don't want it no more. I don't. You
Mm-hmm.
can go.
So you can get kicked off
Yeah,
as a walk
I
on.
would say a little bit easier.
Okay.
I mean, and I wouldn't say kicked off. I would say, maybe next year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in every sport, it's a certain number, but you can get that number definitely. and
Mm-hmm.
and that's if you couldn't get that number, there wouldn't be a walk on.
Right.
So I mean, it's work though. That's
Okay.
work. You got to believe in yourself.
So for athletes, I feel like you guys have to have a certain persona on the media. How do you feel about that? I feel like oftentimes you may not be able to be your, I'm not gonna say you can't be yourself, but you can't portray a certain image. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, on the media, I really don't know how I come off yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would hope it be as much as I am myself. A loving person. I'm a joking person. I'm not this perfect person.
Mm-hmm.
I strive to be, but I it's no. I'm not this trying to be this person that I'm not, because I mean, I'm at Lamar and I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that I'm with, and that I feel is a humbling experience. It puts me in my place. I
Right.
feel so. Um, I feel I'm no better than anybody. No
Mm-hmm.
better than anybody. And my dad has told me, but nobody's better than you also.
Mm.
So I take that on my everyday, but no, I'm a loving person. I love people. Um,
No.
nah, yeah, I don't.
Okay, so what would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about athletes?
I would say that they're all cocky or they
Mm.
have this. Now, don't get me wrong. When you have to get in that mode when you out there on that field, and I definitely get in that mode, but at the when it's out of there and we zone out, it's nah. I'm Kenson, friendly, approachable person,
Mm-hmm.
somebody that you can hold a conversation with. But if a person that thinks they're up here and can look down on somebody and not approach allow them to approach them or allow them to even talk to them, that's not cool.
Do
But
you
nah,
think there's
there's
athletes
some
out there like
athletes that are like that, but I
okay?
mean, and the ones that like that, man, that's not cool. But there are ones that I feel like some do get the he's cocky because of what he does make on the field or what she does on the field. Nah, you got to talk to that person outside and see where that person comes from and how that person's wired. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like on the field you have to be cocky.
exactly, just a little bit though.
That's just how you
That's
that's
the
how you find
edge.
confidence in
Real.
yourself before you do what you have to do. So, do you think athletes have better discipline than regular college athletes? I mean, not other college students.
Um, I would say we have to be a bit more disciplined.
Mm.
I wouldn't say maybe we have better discipline than a regular student, a normal student, but because a normal student still has to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning for 8 a.m. I mean at 7 a.m. So I mean they have to be disciplined too. Also, mom and daddy's still not there for them. Also, you know, so I may have to extra things on my plate, but I feel like discipline you definitely need it, but I feel like it may not be more than say so.
8 a.m.s are not my discipline. I'm
Look,
sorry.
look, you got to get up though. And I feel
And
like,
that's why I stopped taking 8 a.m.s.
see,
You see,
but
you were in my class. You see what happened.
exactly,
I'm
exactly. But
sorry.
look, you figured it out. I need to get out of there.
I did. I was like, this is not gonna work for me. I'm sorry. I'm just can't. Like I would try so hard. It's like it's already 8:15. I still have to
Nah,
get dressed. That's me. I mean, I would get up, but it's like okay, it's late, and then it's like it's already 8:15. I still got to get dressed.
no,
It's gonna be by the time I
like,
get there, class is going to be over.
like these nursing majors, like they have to be disciplined.
Yeah,
I
they're getting
love
up
it.
at like 4 or 5 in the
Exactly.
morning, which is
Like
crazy to me. But it's like that's what they're going to do.
that's mad respect.
Because I mean, they're gonna be up all
Hey,
day in their
yes,
career.
yes.
See, and I just know that's not for me. Sorry, you know.
What is your major? I
My
can't
major is
ask.
family studies and psychology.
Okay.
So I'll be, um, if you know kids who have been like in sex trafficking or
Okay.
have been molested, or if they are, you know, known as like deemed as bad kids,
Nah,
I'll be the voice for that child. So I'll work with the teachers, the
yeah,
doctors, and I'll help best advocate for them
that's real.
and be the voice for them. Be that person that they feel comfortable talking to, so I can give them the best help that I can. That's what I'll be
Oh
doing.
my gosh, that's nice. I like that. That's not okay.
Thank you. So, do you have a plan B? When you were injured, did you have a plan B?
I did have a plan B,
What was your plan B?
and it was locking in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in school.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's what I say. Engineering, it is on my plate. It's a big part of my plate, and
And engineering is a really big
yeah,
major as well.
exactly. So I mean, I'm juggling like crazy, but um, just seeing where internships go and
Mm-hmm.
allowing, I want having them on my plate and wanting to schedule them and have them for the summer if I have time.
Okay.
But they're gonna definitely be, and we I've already, started the process, and people already know, he may be, not available as much, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, I'm doing my work, I'm here, I'm just, doing other things, and that looks good on the resume though.
Right.
All American, is that's it's nice, and it's a blessing to be able to have that, and people see that, and it'd be, okay, and so it's a blessing. It's okay. Yeah, it's on the plate though.
And internships are very important in college. I feel like a lot of people don't know that.
Exactly.
Um, I think I probably just learned that last
Now, yeah,
semester
get
how
your
important,
handshakes, get your LinkedIn's.
because whenever you graduate, you can have the degree, but without the experience, you're not going
For
anywhere.
real.
And those internships give you experience. So, y'all, if you're a junior, start looking at
Yeah, tap
internships
in.
because you're going to need them. Okay, so how do you prioritize yourself and your mental? Because outside of being an athlete, you also have to prioritize yourself and self care, as well as your mental care. So how do you prioritize all those things as well as doing school?
Um, I try to, if I have an online class, take care of my stuff throughout the early in the week, you
Mhm.
know, and my in person class, just take care of that when it comes up, it's
Mhm.
in person. So, but if things are in that area in the school department good, and I have time to, be give myself a little care, wash my car. That's a way just to relax and woosah. And um, I miss being at home because I learned this from my dad. Cutting grass is also we have a lot riding lawnmower. So now I
Mhm.
can push. Now if I was pushing, I'd be a little upset. But no, we ride. So that's a little therapeutic. So I mean, just being, I would say outside. That is a big thing too. Um, I'm a nature person. I'm an outside person.
Mhm.
I do inside things. I play my video game inside, yes, but I was never an iPad kid. I was outside, and that was my way to get away. But I would say doing, I'm gonna say work, but I hope you know what I mean. Like if
You
that's
don't see
like,
it as work.
yes, if that's cleaning the house, like
Mhm.
that's work. Like yes,
I like
like
to clean when I'm stressed. I do. I
exactly.
don't know why. I feel like you can unpack a lot of your thoughts when you're cleaning. I don't know
I'm
why,
telling
because
you.
after I get done cleaning, I feel I'm like, okay, we have figured out whatever conflict I was dealing with. It is resolved
There you
now.
go. There you go.
I like to clean. I really do. I don't know
Yes.
why. Like whenever I'm stressed, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start
Yes.
cleaning. And it's like it now. It's like an instinct. When I was younger, my parents used to just make us clean up, and I'm like, bro, don't nobody want to clean up all day. Like what the heck? But I can appreciate it now because it's like
Yes.
I don't know. It's just something
You
about
can do it now.
yeah. Like
You
you
know.
can just I don't know. It's something about just being able to organize and clean your spaces. I feel like they say a cluttered space is a cluttered mind. So
There you
whenever
go.
your space is clear, your mind is clear.
There
That's
you go.
kind of how
There you
I
go.
would say that works. So, do you think athletes have coursework passes? And what I mean by that is your coursework is easy because a lot of people that are not in sports, they believe that y'all get the easy pass with coursework. Like you're able to, get extensions on work,
Right.
or you're able to you have other people do your work for you. Do you think that's true?
The extensions on work, I will say yes. I mean, if I'm not in class, I typically deserve an extension. If you miss class for being sick, at the end of the day, you can tell that teacher I was, and have an excuse for it, a
Mhm.
legit excuse for it. That's your excuse. I mean,
Right.
yeah, but I mean, my teachers know from the start of semester that I will not be here this day, this day, this day, and
Mhm.
through on. But and it's in contract that if I'm not here, I'm online classes. Yeah, do that work.
Okay.
Definitely do that work.
Okay.
But an in person class, I'm not here. I have to, I can get a little, I can get that day back to get that work and to get that maybe lecture back.
How
Do
does that work for online classes though? Because online classes are kind of like self-paced.
true, yeah.
So it's like, do they still give you like the same grace? Because technically they're like, well, you could have did this before.
That's what I'm saying. You could have did this before. Now, if the teacher last semester I took a business technology like tech typing class, and it was like not like she didn't like have all the stuff posted. Like she it
Mm-hmm.
was like weekly, like she was going like with it. Like so when she would drop it, we would see it.
Okay.
So um I wish I could answer this when I was in season.
Because you have some professors where they're like,
Nah,
I
yeah,
don't
it's
care. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
And
And how do you deal with those professors as an
yeah,
athlete?
that that's
Because honestly, that would piss me off. I'm not gonna
exactly.
lie. I had a professor like that. Not last semester. Like
Nah, because I say some professors like athletes.
spring of like last year. I had a professor that was like that, and I was sick. I was sick for work. I was actually sick,
Mm.
and she was like, "Well, that really doesn't have anything to do with me." I was like, "What?" And she took attendance. You had to be in her class. I'm like, "Well, if I were to come to your class and I'm gonna get everybody else sick, then what are we gonna do? Then nobody's gonna be in class."
Nah,
And I'm see, it's like those professors like that, or she would be petty. Like if you were like 2 minutes late, she shuts the door. She would shut the door, and you can't come to class, and you're getting marked absent, and you're missing notes. And if you did miss notes, you can't go and you can't ask her for notes. She's gonna tell you, well, you were late, or if we weren't allowed to have a group me, like we were not allowed to have a group me.
how do you?
If she found out that we had a group me, we're all in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. She was very difficult. Like she was very annoying.
I would say as an athlete, we see that, and it's maybe a little worse because some professors don't like athletes,
Yeah, that's what
and
I'm
that's
saying.
that's a
Like
worst part. And it's like,
I feel like she'll be that professor that did not like athletes. It's
and
like
how can you not like me because I'm doing a sport, or am I doing something to?
they have some animosity against you. Okay.
Yes, that's it's a little, and it hurt a little bit, but it's a little crazy. But I mean, that's you just ask God for favor. But I mean, that I don't know,
You don't know
professors.
how to deal with that.
I mean, I know how to deal with it,
I don't know.
but I'm gonna
I would drop
I'm
your
talking to
course.
yeah. I mean,
I
I'm
would drop
gonna
your
either
course.
drop the course or I'm gonna talk to that professor. Now that's a hard thing to do nowadays to approach a professor, and whether or not you do that, but
My first response is I'm dropping this course, but it was a little bit too late for me to drop her course. Like I at first she did like the thing where it's like you feel like okay this is gonna be a good course at the beginning, and then it's like to the point where it's like okay now you're not getting your money back for this course if you drop it.
nah,
Now it's too late, so I'm stuck here.
nah,
After that
yeah.
she was like
They,
I don't know what
and
to tell you.
for an athlete, we have a little council, and they can typically try to help you with some stuff, and that's not a guarantee because professors that pen it got a lot of weight. But I pray professors wake up and try to smell this new generation's coffee because
Okay,
we are a handful. I'm sorry, you gotta get along with it.
listen, I don't know. I'm dropping your course. You will see me unenrolled. So, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of being an athlete, besides school, of course?
Um, injury,
Mm-hmm.
staying healthy, um, mental health, just being able to go out and compete and be in the right mind space. And that goes across the board, when you have a team to, turn to a teammate on side of you competing with you, um, it's still hard to, have some to go out there every time and give 110%.
Mm-hmm.
But at this level, you know, it becomes a bit of a job. So you tend to step up a little bit,
Right.
It's a little bit easier, but in high school it's easy to I don't want to do this. I want to be lazy, but you gotta keep that drive always. So I mean, yeah,
You feel like if you don't keep the drive, you'll fall.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Because there's a lot of athletes who start off here and they start off really good, and then they end up falling, and then now they're just
And I
They're
mean,
just here and they end up being off the team. I've seen it.
real.
I wouldn't say I've really seen it a lot with track athletes, but I see or basketball players, but I see it a lot with football players.
Yeah.
They come here and they're on fire, and then it's like I don't know, it's like something snaps, and they just go on this trickling cycle of just falling. And it's really for me to me it makes me sad
Yeah, that's what it is. It's really sad.
because it's like you had that decision before you came to college to say okay no I'm not gonna do
Real.
football or I am or I'm not. But when you're here I'm like you just threw all that work
True,
away.
true.
You said
And that's
yes.
somebody else's opportunity that could have, been had.
Mhm.
But I mean, injuries are it's a cause and effect, So it's hard to come back. It's hard to come back from the injury. It's hard to come back from having that mindset of I'm not my best me no more.
Right.
But allowing yourself to go through that, like I said, but you got to know that, and you got to believe in yourself at the end of the day. I'm sorry, and that's for a student athlete, an athlete. That's for anybody. You have to
Mhm.
believe in yourself. You got to, and get back on that horse when you get knocked down.
I feel like I agree with you. That's for anybody because if you don't believe in yourself, I've been on both sides where it's like, oh, I'm like not confident when I'm doing
Real.
as my own stuff. But then I'm on the other side now. I'm like, okay, as long as you look in the mirror and you're happy with what you see and you know you're making this person happy, that's all that matters. I feel like in college you have to separate making everybody else happy because when
Yes.
you're in high school, you're listening to your parents, you listen to them, you listen to the people around you. At college, like you said, there's nobody here. So the moment you realize, like, oh, this is about me, what I want to do, and if I'm making this person happy in the mirror.
Yes.
I feel like that's the most important thing. I feel like you will fail if you don't find confidence within yourself
Mhm.
and you're not secure within yourself, telling yourself, okay, we have to get up and get it. Like me
That's
and you
big.
in the mirror, we got to
That's
get this
big.
together. Because
Yeah, that's true.
if you don't, you're gonna fall, and then it's gonna be
That's
now
true.
what? And some people go too
Yes,
low,
and don't realize that. Don't get the
but
recognize.
I feel like you also can hit that low point and come back up. That's
Yes.
the most important part.
Nah,
Some people
definitely. Be a
think
phoenix. Nah.
a lot of people think when you hit that low point that you can't come back up. That's
Yes.
not necessarily true. When you hit that low point, I feel like that's like the mark for you to
Definitely.
okay, you see what the rock bottom looks like. Let's
Let's
pick
get it
it back
back.
up. Let's pick it back up. So, what would you say your standout moment in your career has been so far?
Say it one more time.
Your standout moment in your career
Um.
thus far, because of course you still have another year and then
Yes.
some.
We plan to have many more on top of this, finishing out this indoor season, outdoor season, getting into next year. But as far as now, I would say our second meet at U of H, jumping 8 meters, 8 meters in 8.02 meters. That's 26. Don't give me that, y'all. Messed the numbers up and some change, but it was a big, moment. I seen myself on the world list, top
Mm,
five. That's wild. Seeing myself now ranked with the top NCAA teams and dude from Lamar, he right there. But I mean, it's a big thing, going into those places and feeling like, what do you got? What do I have to lose?
mm.
So it's only up from here. But that meet would probably have to be the
Does it
place.
feel good when you go to meets now? Like now that you're up here, when you go to meets, because I feel like for athletes, they see that. I don't know. When I was younger and I'd be in track, I'm like, oh my gosh, that person is really fast, like they're really good, and I have to run with them. I'll be like, oh my god, let me prepare myself. So how does it feel to be that person now? Because like you're up here, so a lot of people when they see that they're jumping with you, they're like, oh shit, like this what I gotta go against right here. Get myself together. How does that feel?
I mean, it's a big thing. I never been one to psych out the competition. I'm not very big. I'm not this oversized person, and it's okay. But I pack a punch.
Mm-hmm.
I can jump, I can fly, and I'm fast. But when people now see me, it's a glance, and it's like, ah, nah, he's here. But allowing myself to soak that up a little bit sometimes, it's okay. But it's hard. I have to also, force myself, a lock in, this may
Mm-hmm.
not be a championship meet, but you got to go out here and execute here, this and there,
Right.
so I think I'm liking this point of where I am because, later in life, it's not going to always be a big meet. You got to be able to go out there and allow this next outing to be your best and it not be a big outing. It may not have
Mm-hmm.
the biggest competition there, but you still have to go out there and still do what you do.
Hmm.
So
Do you think sometimes athletes, when they know it's not the biggest competition, that they get lazy? If you know that you don't have to go as hard, like you can be like, ah, this is really not nothing to me. I already know if I even do my regular practice stuff, I could still do good. Do you think that's something that a lot of athletes do sometimes?
I mean, some athletes do in the prelims, give it a little, hold back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I may say I'm a victim of it myself.
Mm.
But I it's all for a reason. I would I wouldn't do it technically in a long jump, but for a running event to possibly qualify and keep fresh legs for the next day
Mm-hmm.
for the final, maybe. But if it's a 1 day meet, nah, I'm trying to go out there and make this day PR. I'm always out there going to PR. And that's me. That's me being me. I was a little upset at the conference meet getting the gold, but talking to coach, he was like, "Hey, the record is right there, and
Right.
your PR is right here, and that's this much.
Mm.
So let's go get it." And not getting it. It was a little, bitter, but I mean, you still got to take the good with the good. You got the gold, you
Okay.
got the dub. So I mean, allow just taking the good with the good on some days, but I'm going 110% all the time though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, what legacy do you hope to leave behind after track at Lamar?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a question. At Lamar, I want to hopefully be in the Hall of Fame soon,
That's a big
later.
deal.
Yeah. Um, 2-time conference champ. So I think that I should do it. All American. But I want to put us on the map.
Okay.
Make, have Lamar be a place that people want to come to.
Mm-hmm.
Beaumont is a city, a nice city. I feel like it has a lot of potential,
Mm-hmm.
Texas, you in Texas, bro. I'm from Louisiana. I'm sorry. I feel like you in anywhere in Texas, you got potential being this size of a
Right.
city. And I mean Houston being right there. And I mean I know I'm from Baton Rouge, so I mean I know what the city can do. I know so I mean I know it can happen. And I want to be the foundation. I want to be a part of people that have helped bring this university to what it should be. Because I mean, there's great athletes that have been here at Lamar in the
Right.
past, and I mean, it's sad that we don't know them. It's sad that the university isn't up there, and it
Mm-hmm.
should be, but we're gonna get it there, and I
Okay.
want to be a part of that building and with my student body. I want to just be approachable,
Mm-hmm.
be more known on campus and allow myself to, get and provide and bring things to this campus. You know what I'm saying? Our track is a little, we can get that better. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna take time, but I mean, hey, we have
What do you mean the track is? It's not the best track.
it's not.
Oh,
It's not,
okay.
y'all. It's
Okay.
not.
All right.
Um we wanna get that, fixed and have campus, somewhere that we love, because Lamar can be a great place, and it is already a great
Do
place.
you think students coming to like home meet? Do you have home meets?
We don't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I was about
They
to
they
ask. I don't
stopped
think y'all
having
have
home
home meets.
meets 2 years before we got here. 2 years, I think.
So how can students show their support for the track team if y'all don't have home meets?
That's what I'm saying. But
And why don't y'all have home meets?
our home
I
track,
like track meets. I really do.
yes,
I really do.
true.
Track meets, I will sit down and I will
Our
actually
closest meets
invest
are
and watch.
probably at U of H, Rice,
Uh huh.
Houston area. But reason why we don't have home meets, we don't have stands. The track, um isn't, I would say, the best for performance and meat wise.
Mhm.
It gets by with practices, but bad. They used to do that, and I mean, I'm sad that they don't anymore.
Right. I feel like
But
that would build a different type
yeah,
of sense of unity. for the school. Also, like, I feel like if they can invest money into, you know,
And you
Lamar,
also got to
Lamar, please
see
don't cancel
that's
me for
hey,
this,
nah, don't
but
get
our football team, they're doing better now, okay? They're doing better now, but our football team has not been the best. So I feel like if we can invest money into the football team and that's not that great, why can we not invest our money into other
other
sports that are
sports,
doing
other
good?
places.
Because
Nah.
I would love to see track meet
Yeah,
here
on
at
top of
Lamar.
us, yeah. Baseball is doing good. Basketball is doing
Basketball
their
has
thing.
always done really good
They have a
since
beautiful
I've been
court.
here.
I love that court.
They do.
But I mean,
Y'all need the same love
that's
as
what I'm
well.
saying. So I'm like,
Especially because didn't y'all win last year as
yeah,
well?
yeah. They won conference. We won
Yeah.
conference.
So
I was hurt, but I mean,
still, you're part of the
being yeah,
team.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm
Being
saying
there
y'all
to cheer,
still
like they
won.
put in major work, and I'm just like, we deserve something.
Yeah,
Deserve
being
something.
able to have your school come out and support you would be
Real,
great at your own
real.
on your own turf. Because I feel like there's nothing better than being on your own turf and
Yup.
winning. That is like I feel like a feeling you can't beat.
You right.
So y'all deserve that, in
You
my
right.
opinion.
You right.
Okay, so before we end, do you have any questions you want to ask me?
No. I just
All
want
right,
to tell you thank you. I really appreciate you. I
of
really appreciate you. I really
course.
appreciate you.
All right, you want to do me a favor and end it, please? Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in.